Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Magic Square MS-B41/NB42 Excavator Master and Bulldozer Master. We're going to go ahead and put them off to the side here because we're going to look at this box, which is really big considering it's only got 2 Legends figures in it. And yeah, you got the artwork of the 2 of them just kind of, being all actiony again. Magic Square and ages 16 plus, and the Rubik's Cube logo and all that stuff. Their names, again, way too big of a box, honestly. Weird thing on there. Magic Square logo right there. You got the Magic Square logo again right there. Magic Square, warnings, and of course on the back you got just outlines and silver striping. And also comes with a quite frankly terrible set of instructions because it makes it feel way more complicated than it actually is. The transformation is a little complicated, but not that complicated. And this makes it really confusing. They're not very good instructions. But of course, there's also the collector's cards, which have them there in their pose in their vehicle, their robot modes, and all this stuff. And on the back, you got outlines of their vehicle modes and some tech specs. And again, thick plastic. So, Excavator Master and Bulldozer Master. Yeah, they have some really creative names going on here. Yeah, they're there you can see they are versions of Scavenger and Bone Crusher. I'm just blank for a second. I'm calling them Bowl Crusher, which is not right. But yeah, you can see, yeah, they've got, they're green. This one's really green, but yeah, green and purple, like, usual as with Constructicons. And yeah, they look a lot like their old G1 selves and everything. You got the, that's one thing. That comes off really easily, unfortunately. Yes. Excavator Master, yeah, his shovel comes off way too easily, and I wish it pegged in a little better, more secure. Yeah, we got some, details. You got some purple windows and stuff, but yeah, mostly it's just green. You got some tech detailing here and there, and like rivets and stuff, and you got piston molded in and whatnot. No wheels, and you can see bits of the robot down here, folded up really nicely, though, I'll say. Yeah, it's not a whole lot. There's no wheels, so he just slides around, but this does move here at this axis. This axis, you got that much range, and you got this much range at the shovel, and it can rotate right here and make this come off. Yeah, rotate here at the shovel, and this can come, that and all that stuff, and there's your lot with that one. Yeah, Bulldozer Master here, again, no wheels or anything. It's almost entirely green. You got a little bit of purple here for a grill, I guess. And you got this stuff, but that's all hidden, behind the blade. Yeah, it's all pretty much just green. With, again, some detailing. You can see some degree of detailing, but not a whole lot, really. Yeah, I guess, and again, the shovel, I guess the shovel scooper, whatever you want to call it, can move up and down a bit right here. You got that. And, yeah, you got that whole thing. And that's pretty much it for these, I guess, articulation. Of course, they have the weapons, which I can store on here. This one's got little peg holes on the side, which can go on this peg right here, if you want. That, if you want. This one's a different shape, so it doesn't work on that one. And, yeah, there's a peg hole on that one, which, yeah, this can peg into, which, again, it looks a little goofy, but, it does work if you need to have them stored for whatever reason. That is so annoying. Right there, it's just so annoying. I wish this locked into place or something, but it doesn't. I mean, I understand why it doesn't, but it's still just annoying that, there's nothing you could do about that. Yeah, a comparison real quick. Again, it's more Magic Square stuff, their Nemesis Prime and their breakdown. You see again, I guess roughly the right size. Maybe the car's a little too big and stuff, but yeah, they're roughly the right size, close enough, I would say, to the real world thing. Yeah, of course, you can see all that. They got all that stuff, and again, not real G1 ones, but these are knockoffs, but still, they're kind of give you an idea size-wise. Actually, unlike the first 2, these codes are really close in size, like almost identical in size to the original G1. Almost, not quite, but nigh identical in size. It's weird. It's really weird how close they are. Again, I can't speak for color accuracy for these ones just because, again, they're knockoffs. It wouldn't surprise me. They're completely wrong, too, on the color. But there they are. And, of course, here they are with the other set, the first set, which, yeah, you can see these guys are noticeably larger in vehicle mode. For whatever reason, they're just noticeably larger. He's sitting funny. There we go. Yeah, you can see that the first set is a bit larger, which kind of makes sense to a degree. They have to be a large chunk of the leg, but yeah. That's what they look like. And I believe there's been a bit of brouhaha because supposedly set 1 has a different shades of green and purple compared to the second set. And yeah, you can kind of see it. I'm not sure how well the camera's picking it up, but in person, it's just barely different. Like, it's so to the point of a lot of people aren't even going to even see how different that they're different. It's like it's that close that honestly, I think some people are freaking out over it over nothing, because I think pictures just sometimes some photos just make it look worse than it actually is. But in person, it's so minute that it might as well not be a problem. So that's my opinion on that. So yeah, I don't think that's a problem. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get these guys transformed into their combined modes, and then I'll talk about those a little bit. Yeah, combined modes. Actually really simple. Weirdly enough, they don't even mention how to do it in the instructions. Again, I don't know why they do that, but they're really simple though. It's kind of easy to figure out. This part right here, the connectors for the actual major robot, these parts, they're really, really stiff, which is probably a good thing considering, it's kind of a load-bearing joint for the whole combined thing. But getting them out can be difficult if you don't want to untransform. If you have a spudger, like I do, it's really easy. Just kind of get under there and just wedge it out. But if you don't, you have to kind of start untransforming stuff, as if you're going back to robot mode, which you'll probably see in the transformation. I'm not going to be that mean. In the transformation video, I'm going to show how to do it. But yeah, it's just a thing just to show that yeah, you can do it without moving all stuff. But yeah, they're the combined modes, and of course, this is something I'll get a little more into in the final thing. But yeah, you can of course fold the fist away and on both of them, and do the drill hand if you want. Just like the original toy. If you want to do that, that's just a thing you can do. So you can do all that stuff on both of them. So yeah, pretty decent looking so far. From what I'm seeing, this is going to be decent for the full combined set. So we're going to go ahead and get them into robot mode and talk from there. Right, so that's the transformation of these guys. And yeah, it's again, the instructions make them look a lot more complicated than they really are, but they are still kind of on the technical side. They have a lot of little pieces, just really, particularly in torso, just really folding up and stuff. Their legs transform almost identically, with one minor change difference between the two of them at the feet. But yeah, it's just they both have quite a bit of stuff folding up. Him in particular, Bulldozer Master in particular, really has a whole bunch of stuff just really folding up and pressing and all that stuff in one go into. Again, instructions make it seem a lot more complicated than it actually is, at least in my opinion. But you can see some of the detailing here and whatnot on these guys. And again, red eyes. You've got that weird double mouth plate thing that Scavenger always has. The gray, the faux, the old combiner peg that's, you know, just there because it was there in the cartoon. And you got the purple pants and all that stuff. You know, all that. And of course, all this stuff folded up on the back, including the shovel, which you don't have to, if you really don't want it, you can just take that off and leave it off. But, you know, it's supposed to be there. He's supposed to have the shovel on his back, just kind of chilling out. And yeah, Bulldozer Master again, you got red eyes, you got the weird chin strap helmet thing, you got the red and purple here on the chest, you got pretty much almost just beyond that, just green, the green onesie with some purple hands. Yeah, he's largely paint-wise, he's detailed, doesn't have a lot of detail, but, you know, sculpting is there. You got all that, and of course they have their guns, which, you know, peg in their hands. Same as always. Peg in. All that stuff. So, yeah, there you go. That's very much a thing with the two of them. One thing is, actually, I've seen pictures of them using these things as I guess Hulk hand types. I don't know how you do it. There's nothing in instructions about it. I don't know if it's a fan moving thing or what. Every single thing I've tried to do doesn't work. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what, but regardless, it's like something apparently you might be able to do. I just can't figure out what to do. And if I figure out what it is, I'll update this or something. But yeah, don't know what it is. But yeah, articulation though. Head is on a ball joint, which is left and right, up and down, waggle a little bit. Although this is a weird ball joint because it likes to kick itself off to the side. There's a weird thing where like it just doesn't like to stay centered. It likes to kick itself just slightly off to the side, no matter what you do. The shoulders on ball joint, so all the way around and outward. You got that. You got a really tight swivel there. So probably don't need to do that. You got elbows, which full bend right there. You do have a wrist swivel. You can see that. Wrist swivel. Waist swivel is right there. You got an ab crunch. Pretty deep ab crunch. You can also lean back a bit if you want. That can come off. Hips can go forward. This can kind of get out of the way and go forward a little bit. But yeah, if you really want to go super forward, you have to more or less push them out to the side. And then everything just looks weird. And I don't know. It just, unfortunately, that's... What you have to do really is you have to use this thing. There's this hinge right here. You have to move this down, and then you can move them forward about that far. That kind of works. It's kind of a weird hinge, but it does work. You also got outward and back about that far again. If you use this lower hinge, you can get that far back. And then you got a thigh swivel right there, thanks to the ball joint and everything inside there, which also lets you do that. You can do some pretty wild stuff with that extra ball joint. Knees, dual hinge knees, so quite the curl. And also even the detail shows up right there when you do bend the knees. And ankles, you can got lots of tilt there. Because of the ball joint, it's got a tiny bit of forward and back. The toe can go up and down, a little bit up, a lot down. And you got the side-to-side stuff right there. Yeah, lots of posability, particularly for Legends class figure, and this annoying thing right there. That. Yeah, so Bulldozer Master here, you got, once again, ball jointed head, so left and right, up and down. You got a tiny bit of waggle, but really not a whole lot thanks to the head shape. You got full articulation there, full 360. You got outward. You got you do actually have butterfly joints. Does this one have butterflies? I don't think it does. No, this one doesn't. I mean, you kind of do with the ball joint, but not really much of anything. But this one has a dedicated butterfly hinge. Yeah, there's a bicep swivel, very tight one. Elbows, can they do a full curl? I don't think so. Not quite. No, the elbows don't they go a little over 90 degrees, but full curl because of the shape and everything, as far as I can tell. There's no full curl. And of course, wrist swivel right there. And it's got a waist swivel. Ab crunch, about that far down, and you got a little bit backwards as well. Hips, which can go forward about that far until you engage this little hinge down here, in which case Then the hips can go all the way forward, although it starts to look a little weird. Go back that far when the hinge is like this, and when it's retracted, it's only about that far. Got outward, full outward. And this hip can also kind of get out of the way a little bit as well if you need that. So there's that. The outward right there, you got a kind of tight thigh swivel. Again, dual hinge knee. And you can bend at that hinge or that hinge, whichever. But yeah, you got dual hinge knee there. And again, ankles can tilt pretty far. You got a tiniest bit of forward and back. You got toe can move down like that. You got toe can not really on this one go up. You got the side to side. And I forgot to mention on both of them, they also have the thing where the heel can go down. So if that you need that for any poses, the heel can go down like that and act as a bracer or something. So there's that. Quick comparisons. Again, more Magic Square figures. Nemesis Prime and Breakdown, just to give you an idea. So bigger than the Constructicons, not quite as big as Nemesis Prime here, which actually kind of more or less lives in the realm they should probably feel like they should. So there's that. Here's the crappy knockoff G1s I got, including a Bone Crusher, which can't, can't keep his can't keep from exposed. Oh, there it goes. It stayed. I got to say, but yeah, you got that. So again, size. We're actually roughly the same size as the old G1 toy. At least I think they are. I'm pretty sure they're the 1-to-1 knockoffs. Don't quote me on that. And here they are with the other two teammates who are out so far. Set A. Again, the yellows might be a little different, but not different enough for me to think it's a big deal. I don't know. They might appear different on camera, but trust me, in person, they don't really appear to be that different. Oh, and one last thing. If you bought from ShowZ, you had the chance to buy them with a set of horns. Like that time in the movie when Starscream, was about to become the leader of Decepticons before he got killed by Galvatron. If ShowZ offered these as a little deal with set B here, as pay a little extra, and you get these horns for just a little tiny bit extra. And they come on, they come with 6 of them, and they come on these little sprues. You have to clip them off yourself. 3 sets of sprues. Yeah, and they, happily slot into the hands, no problem. You can then have them doot to their pleasure. They just sit there dooting. Yeah, just doot. Or I think you buy the horn set separately, although it'll cost you a little extra if you did it separately. But yeah, that's a thing if you want. Just an FYI. They're kind of neat. I bought it. That's why I got it through ShowZ. So yeah, solid set overall. They look really nice. The transformation is kind of fiddly and complicated, but not as fiddly as complicated than the instructions would lead you to believe. So they can be a bit of a first time through, it might be a bit of a trial, but once you get through them a couple times, it's actually pretty quick and easy. You can actually once you figure out all the movements you're supposed to do, it goes pretty quick. It's just that first time through, it can definitely be a bit of a pain. They look solid. They're both dead solid. Again, the nylon plastic is really nice, so there's no real fear of breakages here. They have really high posability. Yeah, they just look really nice. They're really solid set, and for about $80 to $100, depending on where you buy it, yeah, sure, why not? About $40 to $50 a pop. Yeah, they are on the spendy side, but they're also on the larger side for Legends class, and again, pretty complicated. So I understand why they're kind of on the spendier side, but not a bad set. If you're buying them alone, I guess this thing, I think actually, honestly, they might be slightly better than the first two, but I don't know. I don't know. Personally, I kind of find them kind of more fun overall than the first two, but the first two aren't, any slouches. So yeah, definitely so far, 2 out of 3 of the sets have been great, and set C is coming very soon. I'm just waiting on that notification from FedEx that it's coming in. It's already been shipped. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. But yeah, solid set. So far, the whole set, the whole Constructicons from Magic have been worth it. So that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Or if you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. Check out my coffee, my Patreon. I'll see you next time with another video review.